यन्मायावशवर्ति विश्वमखिलं ब्रह्मादिदेवासुरा यत्सत्त्वादमृषैव भाति सकलं रज्जौ यथा हेर्भ्रमः यत्पादप्लवमेकमेव हि भवाम्बोधे स्थितिर्षावताम् वन्देऽहं तमशेषकारणपरं रामाख्यमीशं हरिम्। श्रीराम जय जय राम ॐ श्रीराम जय राम। श्रीराम जय जय राम ॐ। 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 जय जय राम ॐ। जय राम ॐ। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। कुन्देन्दीवर सुंदरावति बलौ विज्ञानधामावुभौ शोभाढ्यौ वरधन्विनौ श्रुतिनुतौ गोविप्रवृन्दप्रियौ मायामानुषरूपिणौ रघुवरौ सद्धर्मवर्मौहितौ सीतान्वेषणतत्परौ पथिगतौ भक्तिप्रदौ तौ हि नः ब्रह्माम्बोधिसमुद्भवं कलिमल प्रध्वंसनं चाव्ययम् श्रीमच्छम्भुमुखेन्दुसुन्दरवरे संशोभितं सर्वदा संसारामयभेषजं सुखकरं श्रीजानकी जीवनं धन्यास्ते कृतिनः पिबन्ति सततं श्रीरामनामामृतम् श्रीरामनामामृतम्। We were seeing the portion where Bhagavan has completed the description of nature, and he remembers Sugriva has forgotten his work. So he sends Lakshmanji to remind him of his strength. Sugriva is able to win over Lakshmanji's anger with the help of Hanumanji, with the help of Tara, and finally they have come to meet Bhagavan Rama. When Sugriva meets Bhagavan Rama, he says, Bhagavan, you are responsible for my delusion. Your Maya is so powerful, only the one who has your grace can be freed from it. This is where we had seen the Sakha Bhava of Sugriva. There are different ways of relating with the Lord. One of the ways is like a friend. So Sugriva is openly speaking to Bhagavan and he says, Yaha guna sadhana te nahi hui, tumari krupa pava koi koi. With my own strength and sadhana, Bhagavan, I realize I can go only so far. I cannot travel the entire distance with self-effort alone. The part of self-effort is to invoke God's grace. The role of self-effort is not to take us to the destination on its own. The role of self-effort is to invoke God's grace. That grace will take us to our destination. So he says, Bhagwan, please shower your grace. Don't get angry at me now. Sugriva is telling Bhagwan Rama. Bhagwan calls him nearby, gives him lot of love. And he says, you are dear to me as Bharatji. Then Bhagwan looks at Sugriva. Sugriva says, now we are your dasa. You give command to the entire army. Whatever you tell, we will do. But Bhagwan Rama says, you are their leader. You have to give them instructions. You know what I want. So I will not directly tell them. You tell them what is to be done. This is where we had seen Bhagwan showing the leadership quality. Respecting the structure, respecting authority, and making sure that we work within that framework. He says, if I directly tell the vanaras, then your position will be diminished. So what I want to tell them, it should come through the right channel. You will notice even to do this, it takes lot of mastery over the ego. Even if we have a chance to do it, meaning what? Chance to bypass a person and tell the second tier. Not doing it is sadhana. And we had seen different examples. This is not only in corporates. It is also applicable in our home. It is applicable in whichever group we are working. Sevaka's mindset means that. He says, I am here to follow instructions. And if I have to give instructions, I will do it through the right channel. Sometimes, lot of our actions are determined by public perception. What will people say? People will think I'm a very weak person. See, everything is telling through 2-3 people. Our ideal should not be public perception. Ideal should be, how did Bhagwan Rama live? He is instructing monkeys through Sugriva. Means imagine the importance he gives to dharma, doing the right thing. So wherever we are, whichever place Bhagwan has given us to be, he said there are these lessons which we should take from Ramayana. Now, our Sugriva is giving further instructions. See 23rd Doha, Chaupai is after 22nd. Sunahu Nila Angada Hanumana Jamavanta Mati Dhira Sujana Sakala Subhata Mili Dachina Jahu Sita Sudhi Pucheu Sabakahu Manakrama Bachana Sujatana Bicharehu Ramchandra Kar Kaju Savarehu Bhanu Piti Se Iya Ura Agi Swami hi sarva bhava chhala tyagi taji maya se paraloka mitahi sakala bhava sambhava soka deha dhare kar yah phalu bhai bhajiya ram sab kam bihai soi gunagya soi bada bhagi jo raghubira charan anuragi आय सुमागी चरण सिरुनाई चले हर्षि सुमिरत रघुराई पाछे पवन तनय सिरुनावा जानि काज प्रभु निकट बोलावा शीस सरोरुह पानी कर मुद्रिका दीन्हि जन जानी बहु प्रकार सीतहि समुझायेहु, कहि बल बिरह बेगि तुम आयेहु। हनुमत जन्म सुफल करि माना, चले हृदय धरि कृपा निधाना। यद्यपि प्रभु जानत सब बाता, राजनीति राखत सुरत्राता। श्री राम जय जय रामा, श्री राम जय जय रामा। चले सकल बन खोजत, सरिता सरगिरि खोह। राम काज लय लीन मन, बिसरातन कर छोह। सिया वर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय। श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। Our Sugriva, he divided the teams in all directions. Then he called his key team members who are supposed to go in the southern direction. Who are they? Sunahu Neela Angada Hanumana. He said, listen, O Neela, Angadji, Hanumanji, Jambavanta Mati Dhira Sujana. You all will be going in the southern direction, and you have Jambavanji with you, who is the most intelligent and wise person. Jambavanta Mati Dhira Sujana. Best battalion is sent in the southern direction. And he says, who is the Jambavanji? Jambavanji is the incarnation of Brahmaji. When Bhagwan Vishnu took Vamana Avatara, Brahmaji incarnated as Jambavan. And when Vaman Bhagwan became huge to cover all the worlds, entire 3 worlds he covered with his foot, in that position Jambavanji did 7 pradakshinas. Later on he will himself tell, this was my strength. And Vaman Avatara he manifested, Jambavanji. Rama Avatara he is there. All the way until Krishna Avatara he remains. What is that prasanga? Syamantakamani. Right? That time he fights with Bhagwan. So Jambavanji is that strong. He says he will be there in your team. Meaning what? He'll be the coach. He'll be the wise person. Take his advice. Sakala Subhata Mili Dachena Jahu. Gather your team and get ready to go in the southern direction. Sakala Subhata Mili means you stay together. Don't disperse here and there. Don't go alone. You stay together. You can accomplish more. Sita Sudhi Puchheu Sabakahu. Whoever you meet, ask them about Sita ji's location. Meaning don't take anybody for granted. If you see somebody in a very dilapidated state, very elderly person sitting somewhere, some Rishi Muni sitting somewhere, don't think that they won't be able to help you. Whoever you find, ask them about Sita ji. Manakrama bachana so jatana bicharahu. Lot of sutras are given, how we should work. Sugriva says, do your work using your mind. Krama means actually act upon it. And speech, vachana. Mana krama bachana jatana bicharahu. Plan your work using all these 3. Ramachandra kara kaju savarahu. And make sure that you always remember this is Lord's work. And do this work well. Don't do it half-heartedly. See, in these 2 chaupais, he has already mentioned what is mana krama bachana. Previous line, what did he say? Sita Sudhi Pucheu Sabakahu. Whoever you find, ask them about Sita ji. This is which one? Speech, vachana. Second one he says, Jatana Bicharahu. Think about how you are going to execute. mana. And Ramachandra Kara Kaju Samarehu. Actually do Lord's work. That is action, karma. Means anything we do, we should have all these three things well aligned. Think about it. Let us say speech is missing. Person can think very well, act very well, but in his transaction, speech is not optimal, speech is not ideal. Burns bridges very quickly. Work will not be done. Somebody has good speech, very hard working also, but no vichara. Doesn't have a plan what to execute, what to do. Then also work is not done. Somebody thinks a lot, plans a lot, very good communicator, but doesn't do any work. He says you need all three. Make sure that you are doing it well. Next few chaupais are very beautiful. Literally they mean something very simple, but some profound Vedantic wisdom is hidden there. See if you can catch it. Bhanu Peti Seiya Ura Agi. When you are soaking the sun rays, Hindi mein kehte hain dhoop kha rahe. So how should you take the sun rays? With your back. You should not look at the sun and sit. With your back, you should absorb the sun. But in winter, if you are sitting in front of fire, how should you sit? With your front. Chest and hands, you can take the warmth. He said this is the niyama, this is the guidance given to us by Vaidyas. Doctors say, sun rays, take it through the back, fire, take it through the chest and hands. But unlike this, Swami hi sarva bhava chalatyagi. How there are do's and don'ts for taking warmth from sun and fire. He says, when you serve your master, leave everything and serve him without deceit. There is no serving in part. Like how when you soak the sun rays, only back we should use. Fire, only hands and chest. Part of the body is used, but he says, while serving the master, wholeheartedly you serve. Now we just see the literal meaning first, then we'll come back. Taji Maya Seya Paraloka. He says, when you serve, let go of all attachments. One meaning of Maya is attachments. Say attachment to family, attachment to children, attachment to wealth, position. He says, when you do Bhagwan's work, none of that should come in between. You should do it without attachment. And with this, what will happen? Seya Paraloka. The journey hereafter will be well taken care of. See, generally, we don't think about higher worlds. Do we ever think there is different world other than this Bhuloka? Very rarely. But in this Bhuloka, we are very familiar with gradation. If you are staying in a hotel, you have 2-star, 3-star, 5-star. I heard 7-star is also there, right? Different stars. But in every hotel you will have place to sleep and food to eat. But there is a difference. Just like we can understand gradation here, there is also gradation in locus. What facilities and sharira one is exposed to or one has in Bhuloka, the sharira, body and experiences are much more greater in higher worlds. So Upasaka or Krama Mukti, what it tells us is, you can go from this loka, but that next destination is better than this one. Okay, so one meaning is that, simple meaning, Seya Paraloka. But if you are finding it difficult to appreciate higher worlds, you say, in this world, my life hereafter will be better. That is easier to understand. Seyya Paraloka, Mitahi Sakala Bhava Sambhava Soka. He says, with this, the sorrow which a person goes through, may all that sorrow come to an end. What is the sadhana? He says, just do Lord's work wholeheartedly. Don't ask anything for yourself while doing His work. That alone will ensure our sorrows come to an end. Now you revisit the previous Chaupai. What did it say? Bhanu Peti Seyya Ura Agi. How many of you have heard Bhaja Govindam? One verse comes there. Agre Vahnihi Prushte Bhanuhu Karatala Bhikshastarutala Januhu Ratrau Chubuka Samarpita Januhu Karatala Bhikshastarutala Vasah Tadapina Munchati Asha Pasha. Agre Vahni Prushte Bhanuhu. There is one tapasya called as Panchagni Tapas. Means at the back he has sunlight. In the front he has that fire. Front means on all sides. And top is sunlight. In that he is doing tapasya. So this particular line refers to the first sadhana for moksha. First sadhana for moksha is doing some tapasya. But remember, we don't have to do the tapasya of standing in fire. Our tapasya is Bhagavad Gita's tapasya. Speech level, mind level, body level. Being mindful of our speech, being mindful of our thoughts, and being mindful of our bodily actions. So this first sadhana is tapasya. Second one is Swamihi Sarva Bhava Chala Tyagi. He says, serve the Lord without any deceit. This is the second sadhana, which is Karma Yoga. Doing our duty without expecting anything in return, rather thinking of our duty as Lord's work. Then the third sadhana, Tajimaya Seyya Paraloka. If we do tapasya, we do karma yoga, both of it will bring purity of mind. With that purity of mind, one can let go of Maya. So meaning of Maya here is ignorance. And Paraloka means moksha. Not higher worlds. Paraloka in this symbolic meaning will be liberation. By doing tapasya, by doing karma yoga, purify the mind. With that pure mind, gain knowledge. With that knowledge, one is free. This is the second verse in Aparoksha Anubhuti. Swavarna shrama dharmena tapasa haritoshanat sadhanam prabhavet pumsam vairagyadi chatushtayam. He says, what is the way to liberation? He says, gain sadhana chatushtaya first, qualifications for liberation. How should I gain it? Swavarna shrama dharmena. Wherever the Lord has placed us, whatever work He has given us, that work should become very dear to me. I should enjoy doing what I am supposed to do. And how should I do it? Haritoshanat, to please the Lord. And while doing this, one should also take up some tapas. Tapasa haritoshana. So 3 sadhanas are given. All of them are mentioned here. Then with those sadhana chatushtaya, Shankaracharya says, one has to do vichara. One has to study Vedanta. You know what happens generally is, people love discussion on sadhana chatushtaya. But the application of that doesn't happen for knowledge. We feel if I get a focused mind, I can get better business ideas. If I have a calm mind, I can use that for another worldly gain. We should remember, spiritual practice, the side benefit is worldly gain. Means if a person can become truly spiritual, he doesn't have to struggle separately for worldly success. It's included in it. See, in spirituality, we are seeking God. He is the abode of all bhaga. Bhaga means prosperity. If we attain God, do we have to struggle separately to attain prosperity? He says you don't have to. It is just like if you are seeking fire, do you have to seek warmth separately? It is its nature. Like that, bhaga means, have you heard the word bhagya? Any fortune we can think of is called as bhaga. The Lord of all bhaga is Bhagavan. So one who gets the Lord doesn't have to struggle separately for all these things. So 3 sadhanas are mentioned here. 4th one will come later. Now Sugriva says, Deha dhare kara yah phalu bhai, bhajiya Rama sab kama bihai. The main thing to be accomplished in this human body is Rama Seva. Means our mind should come to this understanding that whatever I am doing is worship of the Lord. And bhajiya Rama sab kama bihai. Worship the Lord, leaving aside everything else. Whenever we read this, we feel, if I do this, who will do my work? If I worship the Lord, leaving everything, who will do my work? So you add one more small addition there. At least when I worship, let me worship in this way. At least when we sit for our prayer, maybe worship the Lord, forgetting the world. Slowly that time will keep increasing. That is his Leela. When we are working in the world also, mind will slowly start thinking of Bhagavan. Soi gunagya, soi badabhagi. That person is full of values. That person is really fortunate. Who is he? Jo Raghubira Charana Anuragi. The one who has gained pure love for Bhagwan's lotus feet. That person is indeed fortunate. Meaning, even if somebody has lot of values and he has great fortune, he is praised everywhere. But those values and praise have not reached their fulfillment until he gets devotion for the Lord. That is what this means. So what is the 4th sadhana? 4th sadhana is to revel in the Lord. Revel in Bhagwan. You see how nicely is pointed out. Tapasya, Karma Yoga, Jnanam and Bhakti. See, Bhakti Mata is wonderful. She will come before Jnanam also and she will come after Jnanam also. Before Jnanam she will come as Sadhana Rupa Bhakti. Sadhana Rupa Bhakti means if I start loving God, that person will get little Vairagya from the world. That Vairagya will help him come to Vedanta. But after he understands the truth, the culmination of that understanding will be again in Bhakti. So Ramakrishna Paramahansa says, first we have to understand God is beyond this world. Then we have to understand God alone appears as this world. Are you all with me? He says, first understand God is beyond. Because what happens is our mind is in Vishaya. Mind is in sense objects. So first stay away from sense objects and understand God as beyond this world. But there are no two things, world and God. He says the next step is Vijnanam, where one understands God alone appears as this world. There is no two different realities. That is this Bhakti. Ayasu magi charana siru nayi. Having asked permission from Bhagwan, Sugriva already gave permission. Now they are asking permission from Bhagwan Rama. Chale harashi sumirata raghurayi. Now all of them are going away, remembering Bhagwan in their heart. These vanaras are so lucky. They are doing pranams to Bhagwan and they have to remember also Bhagwan. Puju Guruji has given a symbolism of this. He says, whenever Bhagwan, Rama and Sita ji are referred to, they mean different things. One meaning of Bhagwan Rama is pure consciousness, Brahman. So Sita ji will be Maya Shakti. They will always be together. If Bhagwan Rama is Shuddha Chaitanya, Ananda Swarupa. If Bhagwan Rama is Ananda, Sita ji is Shanti, peace. If Bhagwan Rama is knowledge, Jnanam, Sita Devi is Bhakti. So once you find knowledge, you have to find Bhakti also. So whom did Vanaras find first? They found Bhagwan Rama. Now they are setting out to search for Bhakti Mata, to search for Shanti Mata. That is the culmination of the journey. Pache Pavana Tanaya Siru Nava. This line is very popular. All Vanaras stood in a line to bow down to the Lord. But there was one Vanara who was at the last person, to come and bow down. That was our Hanumanji. Commentators, they have written several pages on this little chaupai. They say, if Hanumanji came to bow down, read the next line. Jani kaj Prabhu nikata bulava. Having known that Hanumanji will be the one who will accomplish the work, Bhagwan Rama called Hanumanji nearby. Now if he has come to bow down, why does he need to call him nearby? So in Valmiki Ramayana it is said, Hanumanji was so sincere, he came, he bowed down, he started walking back. So Bhagwan called him back. He said, I want to tell you something, and he whispered in his ears what he has to do, and he gave him the ring. It will come next. But the word is very wonderful. How Goswami Tulsidas ji refers to Hanumanji. Some places he will call him Pavanatanaya, and some places he will call him as Hanumana. Whenever he wants to point out leadership, he will say Hanumana. Hanu means chin, Mana means one who has slight dent on the chin. But that dent was made from Indra Bhagwan's Vajra. If it falls on any ordinary person, he will evaporate. But Hanumanji only got a small dent. That is his power. And when he says Pavanatanaya, he is referring to Pavan Devata. One quality of wind is, it will serve silently. If sun is serving, we can recognize the sun easily. Let's say there is no sunlight for a few days, clouds are there. We know very quickly, sun has not come out. Varun Devata, recently we are having a lot of blessings from Varun Bhagwan. You know very easily, Arey Vah, Varun Devata has come. But so day in and day out, Vayu Devata is there, serving us, we don't even notice the wind. So when he says Pavana Tanaya, it is that quality of Hanumanji he emulates from his father. Means without him, no work can happen. But he works in such a way, nobody notices him. Great quality of a sevaka. Great quality of a karma yogi. You remember in Shabriji's prasanga, this point was mentioned. Shabriji would serve Matanga Rishi in a way that for several years he didn't know who was serving. Everything in the ashram would be done, and Matanga Rishi did not know who did it. Then one day he comes early and he knows it is Shabriji. This is represented by the word Pavana Tanaya. This is how he is. And Pavana Tanaya always is behind. So your movement is faster when there is wind behind. Hanumanji staying behind, he makes sure that everybody is moving forward. And if anybody turns back, he is waiting to push them forward. That is one quality of a good leader. See, leadership is not always about speaking up. It is not always about speaking loudly. He says a good leader is the one who can step back when needed and who can step forward when needed. Particularly when everything is going well, there is no need to step forward. So Hanumanji is Pache Pavanatanaya Siranava. Later on we will see when something comes, he goes forward. Now another commentator, he says, why was Hanumanji last? He says Hanumanji loved to see Bhagwan. Whenever you want to say goodbye, and the person whom you are saying goodbye, you love the most, you will want to spend as much time as possible. So Hanumanji is waiting, so that he gets to see Bhagwan as much as he can. And second is, Bhagwan is going to give him the ring. If he had called him first and given him the ring, other monkeys would have felt bad. So when Bhagwan gave the ring to Hanumanji, he was the last one. So everybody had done pranams, they had gone. This was also one leela of Bhagwan. Parasa sisa saroruha pani. Bhagwan took his hands and he caressed on Hanumanji's head. Kara mudrika dinhi jana jani. And he gave him the ring. It is said this hand of Bhagwan, one who meditates upon, he gets liberated. That hand he put on Hanumanji, and this was his kavacha in Lanka. He did not get burnt by the fire because his hand was protecting him all the time. All the Rakshasas came, so many obstacles came, no harm came to him because of this one line. Parasa sisa saroruha pani. Bhagwan said, you go and do this work. Bahu prakara Sita hi samujayahu. Kahi bala birah begi tuma ayahu. He said, explain to Sita ji well. What all you should explain, he already told him secretly. And in Sundarkanda, Hanumanji replays whatever Bhagwan had told him in first person. And see what Bhagwan is saying. He says, you only have to go and give my message to her. Don't do anything else. Because Sugriva sent you to give his message to both of us, and you carried us all the way to Sugriva. So when you find Sita ji, just tell this message and you come back. Don't bring her back. Although you are capable. And Hanumanji tells this to Sita ji. He says, these vanaras are nothing. Ravana is nothing. If you want, I can take you back now. What does Sita ji say? The maryada is Bhagwan Rama should come. Although you are capable, who has to do which work? Only that person has to do it. Now in this one part, right? Kahi bala biraha begi tuma ayaho. Two things he has said to Hanumanji. Tell Sita ji my strength. And tell Sita ji my sorrow. Don't just tell one or the other. If he only goes and talks about Bhagwan's strength, and he doesn't talk how sorrowful Bhagwan is, how will Sita ji feel? See, if you miss somebody and you come to know that that person doesn't miss you, your sorrow is greater. So he says, no, tell sorrow also. And if he only tells sorrow, 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 she might think Bhagwan is not strong enough to fight Ravana because she is seeing his strength. This is psychological point. He says, explain both. Bala also you show, Viraha also you show. Now somebody says, this Viraha and all, like separation stories if you want to tell, how he is lamenting and all, how come Hanumanji is the right person to tell? Because he is a brahmachari. In 2 lines he will finish. Nothing more than that to say. But it is said, because he is a brahmachari, he is the right person. He will only tell what is told to him. If another person who himself has gone through viraha, he will tell his story. So Hanumanji is the right person. Hanumata janma sufala kari mana. Hanumanji said, having done Lord's work, my birth is fulfilled. Whatever I had taken this avatar for, that avatar is already fulfilled. Now pay attention, his journey has not even started. He has not even found Sita ji. But he says, whatever sankalpa Bhagwan makes, the moment he makes it, it is done. And on top of that, I have received his blessings. That hand of Bhagwan on Hanumanji is a very good support for upasana. Whoever is our Ishta Devata, right? Whenever we feel connected with Bhagwan, we should also feel Bhagwan is taking care of us in this way. That is one way to do upasana on our Ishta Devata. In Gopika Geet, gopis meditate upon different parts of Bhagwan. One part is his palm. That palm, meditating on which Bhakta gets liberated, he says, with that palm, Lord is protecting me. When you read this Ramcharitamanas, you realize there is no doer other than God. Later on also we will see whatever yasha vanaras got. He says the one who was really giving them that yasha was Bhagwan. They have to go and seek support from Swayamprabha, who is sitting in some cave. Hanumanji, Jambavanji, all of them have to take support. He says it is done by the Lord. Hrudaya, Chalevu Hrudaya, Dhari Krupa Nidhana. Keeping Bhagwan in their heart, all of them are starting their journey. Jadyapi Prabhu Janata Sababata, Rajaniti Rakhata Suratrata. Although Bhagwan knows everything, he knows where is Sita ji. With a movement of his eyebrow, he can finish Ravana. Maya runs with Rukapai, Goswamiji had said, right? Movement of his eyebrow. So he doesn't have to do all these step-by-step things to bring Sita ji back. But why does he do it? Rajaniti Rakata Suratrata. Because to follow the norms of dharma, he is following the rules that he himself has put in place. Chale sakala bana khojata, sarita saragiri khoha. All of them started searching. Where did they search? Forest. Vana means forest. Sarita, river. Sara, pond. And giri khoha, in caves. They went everywhere and searched. Rama kaja laya leena mana bisra tana kara choha. They forgot their thirst, their hunger in doing Lord's work. Who forgot? All vanaras. But what happens next we will see. Katahu hoyi nisi charase bheta prana lehi eka eka chapeta bahu prakara giri kanana he rahi ko muni milat tahi sab gherahi lagi trisha atisaya akulani milai na jal ghana gahana bhulani man hanuman kinha anumana मरन चहत सब बिनु जल पाना, चढ़ी गिरि शिखर चहु दिसि देखा, भूमि बिबर एक कौतुक पेखा, चक्रबाक बक हंस उड़ाही, बहुतक खग प्रबिसिहि, गिरिते उतरि पवन सुत आवा, सब कहुले सोई बिबर दिखावा, आगे कै हनुमंत ही लीन्हा, पैठे बिबर बिलंबु न कीन्हा, दीख जाय उपबन बर, सर बिगसित बहु कंज, मंदिर एक रुचिर तह, बैठी नारी तप पुंज सिया, वर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय, श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. Now these vanaras are very enthusiastic. कतहु होई निसिचर से भेटा, प्राण लेहि एक चपेटा. Whoever they found, if he was a Rakshasa, right then and there they would give a blow and finish him off. And when he would fall dead, they would say, Arey, ye to gaya. He is not Ravana. That was their test. They wanted to know who is Ravana. Bahu prakara giri kanana he rahi. They searched mountains, forests in different ways. Ko muni milata tai sab gherahi. If they found any rishi muni, they would reverentially bow down and ask about Sita ji. Sugriva had told them, don't leave anybody, ask from everybody. Lagi trisha atisaya akulane. Now after a few days, they started feeling thirsty. You know, parvataha dureshu ramyaha. Forests are good from far. But when you go there, no guarantee of food, no guarantee of water. They're very thirsty. Milayana jala ghana gahana bhulane. There is no water and they seem lost in the forest. And Sita ji also not to be found. Now instead of Sita ji, they start searching for water. But you know, this journey of Vanara is the journey of a Jiva. Whatever we start doing, initially we have a lot of enthusiasm. But after a few days, after a few months, slowly mind gets distracted. You will notice this even when we go to some ashram, to some camp. When the camp is announced, everybody is enthusiastic. First day of the camp, they do all activities. But by the time you reach last day, you know, half of their mind is already at home. They remember the food, they remember so many other things, comfort of home, chunnu munnu, whoever is at home. Everybody starts coming to mind. This is how our journey is. But remember, you'll notice one thing, Hanumanji is not feeling any of this. Hanumanji is neither beating up Rakshasas, nor is he asking Rishi Munis, nor is he feeling thirsty. One reason is hand of the Lord. His hand was on him, that protected him from all these difficulties. Another is, Bhagwan had given him the mudrika. Prabhu mudrika meli mukha mahi. But where did he keep that mudrika? Mukha mahi. He kept it in his mouth. Because that ring, you know, was very unique. And Hanumanji thought every part of the body has one or the other ornament. You have Keyura, Kankana, that's all I know. Different rings and all will be there. But what is the ornament for mouth? He said ornament for mouth is Lord's name. So that ornament Hanumanji took and he placed it on his mouth. So that ring is symbolic of Rama Nama. The one who does Rama Nama Japa in this way, he will never feel any of these difficulties. In Mangalacharanam also we chanted, Dhanyaste krutinah pibanti satatam Shri Rama Namamrutam. Those who take Bhagwan's name, they are already drinking the nectar of Ram Nama. So they don't have to worry about these difficulties. Mana Hanumana Kinha Anumana. In his mind, Hanumanji understood Marana Chahata Sababinu Jala Pana. All of these monkeys, without food, without water, they are ready to give up their body now. Chadigiri Sikhara Chahu Disi Deka. He climbed a small hill and he saw in all four directions. Bhumi Bibara Eka Kautuka Pekha. And he saw there was one small cave-like structure with a small opening. And something very interesting was happening there. What was happening? Chakra Baka Baka Hamsa Udahi. There was one bird, Chakravaka. Baka means crane and Hamsa means swan bird. They were all, these are called water birds. They live in water. They were entering inside and coming out with wet feathers. So he understood there is water inside. Bahutaka Khaga Prabhisahitehi Mahi. And all different types of birds were entering and few birds were exiting. Girite Utari Pavanasuta Ava. Hanumanji climbed down from that hill. Saba kahu lay soi bibara dekhava. And he took everybody with him to show them the cave. Means what? Keep walking. The goal is very nearby. Don't stop here. Aage ke Hanumantahi linha. Now that cave, the entrance was very dark. They asked everybody who wants to go inside. Nobody was willing. Really speaking, Angadji is their leader. Captain is Angadji. Angadji says, no way I am entering a cave. Father entered, chaos happened. From that point onwards, he says, I have stopped entering caves first. You go first. And in some Ramayana, they say, Hanumanji was in the front and every monkey was holding the next monkey's tail. So it was like a train. All of them were going inside. Dika jai upabana bara sara bigasita bahu kanja. And slowly what they find. In the beginning it was dark. But slowly that cave started opening up. And when it opened, it was a huge paradise. Valmiki Ramayana description is given. How was the cave? He says there was a blue water lake. Have you seen the ocean with blue water? Like that there were lakes of blue water and golden fishes. All the windows, jharoka, all of them were golden. And different fruits and flowers. That was the paradise inside. Upavana was there. Mandira eka ruchirataha baiti nari tapapunja. And inside that paradise, there was one tapaswini sitting. Ascetic lady who was shining brilliantly because of her tapasya. Next part, let us just read it without chanting. Durite tahi sabani siranava. All of them bowed down from far. Puche nija bruttanta sunava. When asked, they started telling their story, vanaras. They were having fear and they were having respect. Both was there. Because these tapasvis, you never know when they curse. Like our Durvasa Muni, even if he says Hari Om, you'll be afraid. Means his greeting is also that which invokes fear. So they didn't know who this was and what she will do. Must be some goddess. Tehi saba kaha karahu jalapana. She said, eat something. Khahu surasa sundara phalanana. There are beautiful, sweet fruits are here. Eat whatever you want. Then they understood she is a nice person. She will not curse. They took a dip. Majjanu kinha madura phala khaye. Tasu nikata puni saba chali aaye. And they came back to Swayamprabha, having taken a dip, eaten fruits and all. Tehi saba apani katha sunai. Having eaten, those vanaras were also relaxed. Swayamprabha started telling her story to them. Means what? Vanaras had also asked her, who are you? Where did you come from? Main ab jab jahan Raghurayi. She says, now I am ready to go to Lord Rama. So her story was, her friend, whose name was Hema, she was the daughter of Vishwakarma. Vishwakarma is the divine architect. This Hema, she was a devotee of Lord Shiva. So she had pleased Bhagwan Shiva, and as a boon, Lord Shiva had given her this Vatika. And Swayamprabha was Hema's friend. So when she went to higher worlds, she told Swayamprabha, you stay here and you do your tapasya. In Treta Yuga, when Rama Avatar will take place, that time Vanaras will come. You guide them to the next destination, your liberation will happen at that moment. So now she says, my job is done, I have to go to Bhagwan Rama. Mudahu nayana vibartaji jahu. Vanaras say, you will go, but what about us? How are we going to go? She says, yes, this is a very special cave. Whoever comes inside, very difficult to go out. But with the help of my tapasya, I will take all of you out from here. But what is needed for that is, you have to close your eyes. With open eyes, you cannot go further. She says, whom are you searching for? Vanaras says, Sita ji. What does Sita ji represent? Shanti, Bhakti, love of God. He says, you will not find it if you only keep your eyes open and look at the world outside. You have to close your eyes, look within. It will take you further to find Sita ji. So everybody closes their eyes, and Swayamprabha with her tapas takes them to shore of the ocean. Nayana mundi puni dekhahi bira thade sakala sindhu ke tira. When they open their eyes, suddenly they find they are at the shore of the ocean. So I told you, this journey is journey of a sadhaka. First he starts doing some sadhana, starts doing some spiritual practice, and at some point, every sadhaka feels, I'm getting stuck. I don't know if I'm making progress or not. What I used to do 15 years ago and what I'm doing now, I feel there is a lot of difference. If it is better, well and good. But sometimes sadhaka might feel, I would do so much of japa, so much dhyanam. Now suddenly life has gotten so busy, I'm unable to do even 1/10 of it. But the guidance given to us is, keep walking. Like the vanaras kept walking, they found the right guidance at the right time. And that guidance was so powerful, in a short time, fraction of a moment, all those obstacles were removed. Here also, grace of God is so powerful that whatever obstacle he might be facing, he can overcome it just in a fraction of a moment. Sometimes some kind of doubt is there which bothers us for a long time. Then some satsang happens, somewhere we get that clarity. And that clarity is so powerful, we see several years of doubt has gone away in this short time. Provided we remain steadfast. That is the message for us as sadhakas. So puni gai jahan Raghunatha, she went to Bhagwan Rama, Swayamprabha, Jai Kamala pada naesi mata, and she bowed down to Bhagwan. Nana bhati binayatehi kinhi. She prayed in different ways to the Lord. Valmiki Ramayana has a description on her stuti, what all things she prayed. Anapayani bhagati prabhu dinhi. And Bhagwan blessed her with unbroken devotion, firm faith. Now with Bhagwan's command, she went to Badrika Ashrama, keeping Lord in her heart. That was her next destination of Swayamprabha. Badri वन कहूँ सो गई प्रभु अज्ञाधरी शीस उरधरी राम चरण जुग जय बंदत अज ईस. The one whom Brahmaji and Lord Shiva worship, keeping that Lord in her heart, she went to Badrikashrama. Now what happens to vanaras, we will see in the next session. Aganita guna gana bhushan Rama Ashrita vatsala jaya jaya Rama Ayodhyavasi Sita Rama Apad bandhav jaya jaya Rama Dasharatha Nandana Shri Rama Dashamukha Mardana Jaya Jaya Rama Kausalya Sukhavardhana Rama Kamita Phalada Jaya Jaya Rama Papa Vimochana Shri Rama Pattabhirama Jaya Jaya Rama Janaki Vallabha Sita Rama Jaya Raghu Rama Jaya Sita Rama Vanara Sevita Shri Rama Varidhi Bandhana Jaya Jaya Rama Hanumat Pujita Sita Rama Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Raghupati Raghava Raja Rama Patita Pavana Sita Rama Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Syavar Ramachandra ki jai Satgurunath Maharaj ki jai Hari Om.